Is it just me, or does healthy food these days seem totally boring? Well, you know what? I don't like boring. I'm Betsy Opyt, registered dietitian, 2015 Florida Young Mother of the Year, and president and CEO of Betsy's Best. My all-natural, gourmet, non-GMO nut and seed butters are known for their outstanding taste and light, crunchy texture. Today at the Ingles table, we'll be making my gourmet banana bread with my almond butter. Now let's get cooking. Just got back from Ingles and I'm ready to make this amazing banana bread with my almond butter. This is one of my family's favorites and I'm sure it will be yours too. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 bananas. You want to make sure the bananas are pretty ripe and we're going to mash them in a bowl with a fork. And this banana bread recipe has a nice cinnamon flavor with a beautiful topping. It can be made into little mini muffin tins or a big pan as well as mini muffins. So it's a couple different versions you can do with this basic recipe. So once you get the bananas nice and mashed, we're gonna add in the other ingredients. So we're gonna start with our sugar, our flour, and if you're needing the actual ingredients, you're gonna find them in the recipe link down below. We'll add in our baking powder, our baking soda, a little bit of sea salt and cinnamon, and this is going to mix into the bowl with the bananas. We're then going to add a little bit of oil, a 1/4 cup of oil, and an egg. And the best part of this recipe is the almond butter with cinnamon. Not a lot of people think about putting an almond butter in a banana bread recipe, but we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons in. It adds some additional protein, and the nice cinnamon flavor just makes the cake with this banana bread recipe. So you can't miss your banana bread recipe without the Betsy's Best. And then we're just gonna mix this well until it's all blended. So make sure you have a nice big bowl and maybe some helpers with you. I'm gonna get out the big spoon so it'll blend a little bit easier. And I'm gonna keep working on this. We'll be right back. Well, I have it nice and blended, and once all those ingredients incorporate and it's nice and creamy, it's ready for the pan. So I'm going to use a loaf pan. You wanna make sure you non-stick spray this ahead of time and preheat the oven to 350 so it's ready for the banana bread. And we're going to pour it into the pan using a nice little spatula here to make sure you get everything out of the bowl. And then just spread it evenly. Now when I do the mini muffin loaf pans, I use about 3 of them for this recipe. But if you're choosing to use a full loaf pan like the one I have here, 1 is appropriate. Now we're gonna get ready for the topping. So you're gonna take a small bowl, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of a butter or coconut oil. And even if you wanna do this more of a vegan way, you can do an almond butter. Sometimes I use that in place of the butter. Then we're gonna add some oats. We're gonna add a little bit of flour and sugar and a pinch of cinnamon. And then you're going to cut the butter with the fork, and this will be our nice, beautiful topping. It'll get nice and crispy on top and give it that extra layer. All right, so you wanna make sure you get this all incorporated until you start to see these little crumbles, and then we know it's all finished. Now this is the best part, so I know it takes a little bit extra work to cut in that butter, but trust me, it is worth it. So now we're just going to add the topping to the banana bread. And this is going to give it a nice coat on the top when it bakes, so nice and crunchy, and wonderful cinnamon flavor. And then we have it all ready for the oven. So again, make sure your oven is heated to 350 degrees, and we'll place it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes and check on it to see if it's done. There's nothing better than fresh baked banana bread right from the oven. Now I baked this one, since it's in a larger tin, for about 40 minutes. If you use the smaller muffin tins, it'll be about half that time. I want to thank you so much for joining us here at the Ingles table. Remember, you can find recipes, tips, tricks, and more on the website inglestable.com. Until next time, we'll see you online.